also studied in the free time because I'm preparing for the national exams that is related to the CSE, UPSC, and that is the Civil Services Exams of India. So I'm preparing for that.
Right,
That and
right. So there isn't really any free time.
yes,
Hello.
hello.
How are you today?
Uh,
Hello.
I'm and living in Gwalior.
Amazing. And my name is Faye. What is your name?
Currently, I'm working in an assistant accountant in a MNC company and trying to get some experience related to some kind of English experience speaking.
Wonderful. Amazing. So you're hoping to develop your English for career opportunities.
Yes,
Fantastic. That's absolutely amazing. So would you say that your focus is on business English more than general English?
yes, ma'am. I'm focusing some business English and I'm preparing for some interviews because I want to get a job in IT sector, and that's why I'm preparing
Mm-hmm.
for that.
Oh, incredible. Well, thank you so much for telling me this because this is very helpful for knowing what we could do in our lessons together. So that's fantastic. And I could definitely help you with that. But for today's lesson, can I ask, would you like to have a free conversation or would you like to focus on something more specific?
I wanted to focus on the conversation because I wanted to need some understanding of English languages, and that is a
Mm-hmm.
difficult situation for me.
Amazing. We can definitely have a free conversation then. We can get to know each other. And then maybe in future lessons, we can focus on your business English a little bit more, just to improve your skills so that you feel confident for those interviews.
Yes, ma'am.
Does that
And
sound okay?
yes, ma'am.
Oh, amazing. Well, I think we should begin by getting to know each other a little bit. So, you have told me about your career background, which is absolutely amazing. So, maybe you can also tell me what you enjoy doing in your free time, what your interests are, just so we can make our lessons a bit more interesting and catered to your interests.
Yes, I also studied in the free time because I'm preparing for the national exams that is related to the CSE, UPSC, and that is the Civil Services Exams of India. So I'm preparing for that.
Right,
That and
right. So, there isn't really any free time.
yes,
Mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm,
like to go somewhere that is related to any kind of historical places and wanted to get some knowledge from there that
mm-hmm,
can I apply and learn from that and easily to understand that kind of situations. That is
mm-hmm.
all about I do in the free time.
Oh my gosh, so you're a very productive person. You're always trying to learn or develop in some way.
Yes,
Oh my goodness, I wish I was more like you. I'm definitely not as productive as that in my free time. Normally, I just want to snuggle down with a book or with a TV show and just lose myself in a story. So that's a lot more productive than what I do.
I wanted to get some knowledge about some kind of information related to the English conversation, and I'm working on it. And I'm reading some newspapers that is in English language, and I'm trying to speaking that.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's
And
clearly working for you because your speaking skills are fantastic. And if you're reading more formal newspapers and articles as well, then that will expand your vocabulary a lot. So that is definitely a very good approach. And it means you're learning about subjects that you're interested in. and you're developing your English. So it's definitely a very good idea.
And I wanted to know what is your introduction about what is your working.
So I work in a publishing house. I work as an editor. So I will correct books. I will correct their grammar, their spelling, and I will do fact checks as well before a book is published. And we publish lots of non-fiction books, so books about lots of different topics. So I've gathered a lot of knowledge through doing that. So maybe that's why I prefer reading stories in my free time. But yes, I teach on Cambly part-time, and then for my full-time job, I edit in a publishing house.
It's good. And how can I prepare my understanding good in English, and how can I speak fluently in English? Can you tell me some steps?
I mean, I think Cambly is probably the best way of improving quickly, I think, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a tutor. I have had some students who have been beginners or really not confident with their English at all. And after just a couple of months of using Cambly every week, they improve so quickly. So I think having conversations with native speakers or with fluent speakers as often as you can is definitely the best thing to do. And other than that, I think the best thing you can do is kind of use your interests to learn English. So if you are interested in a certain TV show or a podcast or YouTube videos or books, you can find an English version of that and learn from there. But it sounds like you're already doing that, which is absolutely fantastic. You've definitely combined your personal interests and your academic interests with your English practice. So that's absolutely amazing. I think you're definitely on the right track and your English is absolutely fantastic. So it's clearly working. So my only other piece of advice really would be to just make sure that if there's any vocabulary that you don't understand that you come across, kind of make the effort to write it down and look it up in a dictionary or ask a tutor to explain it to you and keep practicing using it. I think that's something a lot of students don't do that will definitely improve their vocabulary. So that would be my advice. Of course, everybody is different and they learn in different ways. But I think if you're using Cambly regularly and you're also reading newspapers or articles or watching videos in English, I think just your vocabulary and your understanding of grammar naturally improves. So that would be my personal advice.
Yes, thank you for your advice, and I will definitely agree with your conversation. And I wanted to know some about the how can I prepare for some better interviews, because I have it studied and I have given interview, but I am rejecting due to the reason I am making
Mm-hmm.
some grammatical errors in my speaking English. So that's why recruiters have said me you should have to work on it. And how do I don't know how can I work on grammatical errors? I should have to read some grammatical books or some read some information about grammar.
I think with learning grammar, I think it's a little bit more difficult to improve your grammar by reading articles because you aren't receiving correction and you aren't producing the grammar yourself. So improving your grammar is a little bit more difficult to do by yourself. So I would definitely say that that's where a tutor comes in, whether on Cambly or whether in person. I think if you can have a fluent speaker there to correct you in the moment and to explain why something is incorrect, I think that's definitely the most helpful way to go forward. Because if you try to teach yourself grammatical rules, you can make lots of progress, but it can still be difficult to identify where you're going wrong, if you even know that you are going wrong. Normally, you need somebody to point it out to you and to explain why something is incorrect. So I would definitely say tutors are the best way to fix that.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. And I wanted to know some about the places that you belong from, which country you are, and what is the famous place there.
So I am from and I am living in England. I have always lived in England, but I'm hoping to travel soon, so maybe that will change. But I am originally from Manchester, but I have since moved to the countryside. So I'm quite far away from Manchester now, but that's where I'm from originally. And Manchester is very famous for its music scene, and also for a lot of its fashion. I'm sure you will already know. Um,
Yes,
that's what I would say it's most famous for. It's very famous for very popular bands that have kind of formed and become very, very popular in Manchester. And of course, we are known for our party culture, clubbing, all of those things as well. But life is much more peaceful in the countryside. I definitely prefer living in nature than in the city, personally.
yes. If I can try to apply in your places for the job and in the IT sector, so could I find that, or should I prepare for IT sectors?
Right, right. I mean, it would be amazing to apply for a role here, definitely. You would have to look into your options, I think. I personally don't know a lot about the IT sector, so I'm not really sure about the job opportunities here. But I personally know lots of people who have a role in IT in Manchester, actually. So there are probably many different vacancies and roles that are open.
A lot of the people has gone to the New York and working in the IT companies and get and earning in dollars, but dollars
Right.
is very currency in
Mm-hmm.
India. So that's why I'm planning to go in the IT sector and gain some experiences, and after that I can apply it out of the India, so I can get a new job in in this field.
That's a very good idea. It sounds like you've done your research and you have a very good plan. So that sounds incredible. And like I said, I know lots of people who work in the IT sector, and it's one of those industries that I think you can develop in very quickly and you can sort of climb up the ladder very easily. So I think that sounds fantastic. And it could give you lots of travel opportunities as well, which is really exciting. So that sounds great. I would definitely be really excited to see you achieve that and to go on that journey.
Yes, and
Amazing.
yes, and my hobbies are some traveling on the some good places, and try
Ooh,
to go try to go on this weekend on the fort that is situated nearby me, and that is very high from the
wow.
in our city. So
Oh my
that can be a
goodness.
that can be a good place, but there is some kind of foundations because there is a lot of the securities for not people not people are going to easily there.
Mm.
So I wanted to go there, but there is some stops that can make me stop.
Oh my goodness. I mean, that still sounds exciting, though. That sounds like a fun idea. And I definitely think I would want to do that if I was there. And I think that when you're interested in traveling, it's actually really nice to explore the places that are sort of close to you, rather than just hopping on a plane and traveling to the other side of the world. Sometimes it's better to get to know your own culture and your own environments a little bit first. So that sounds exciting, and hopefully you will be able to do it and the security will not stop you. But that sounds amazing. And I'm personally very interested in travel as well. So if you find anything good and you have any recommendations, I'd be really happy to hear them.
I have a YouTube channel also, and I posted a company's interviews jobs on there. And but I started that channel 3 years ago, and three strike has been come to on my channel. I have deleted some videos. That's why, and I am working on it, so that can be good or not. I should have to see some future in the YouTube career or not.
Oh my gosh, that is so exciting. Thank you so much for this conversation.